Good Friday evening, July 26th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. Chelan County Emergency Management said about 130 people evacuated Stehekin on Thursday after the area went to level 2 yesterday morning. The Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce has a new Hispanic Business and Community Relations Coordinator. We'll tell you who it is. It was a beautiful summer day across the area today, with temperatures warming up even more this weekend. Your local weather forecast is coming up. A fire destroyed a home and garage and then spread up a nearby hillside outside Cashmere last night. Fire districts from Lake Wenatchee to Wenatchee and a Department of Natural Resources crew assisted in keeping the fire from being spread further by the 20-mile-per-hour winds. It eventually was limited to just over 2 acres. The fire was first reported about 9:45 p.m. in the 6000 block of North Dryden Road. That's between the Goodwin Bridge in Cashmere and Peshastin Pinnacle State Park. Chelan County Fire District 6 Chief Andy Lee said firefighters had the blaze contained by about 4 o'clock this morning, and some crews remained on site into this afternoon for mop-up. Lee said there were no injuries and the residents of the home are staying with relatives on nearby property. The cause of that fire is under investigation. The Pioneer Fire has grown to 31,906 acres as Stehekin remains under a level 2 or be prepared evacuation. Stehekin was under a level 1 fire advisory until yesterday morning. At the Manson Base Camp, Fire Information Officer Lauren DeRocher explained to NCWLIFE News on Thursday what ultimately took the evacuation up to level 2.
Fire activity yesterday increased, particularly in the Flick Creek drainage. So firefighters had constructed what we call a check line just on the lower part of Flick Creek where it was possible to do so. Fire went above that check line and crossed over through the creek drainage and picked up activity in the afternoon. And that was an area in which it really necessitated for fire management and Chelan County Emergency Management to look at and assess those evacuation levels. And so that's why, as a precautionary measure, going into that level 2 evacuation level for Stehekin. And that level 2 evacuation level really is a get set, so get ready to leave for those Stehekin residents.
Hazard Creek to Safety Harbor remains at level 3. Safety Harbor to Camas Creek at level 2 and Camas Creek to Mitchell Creek at level 1. Chelan County Emergency Management said about 130 people evacuated Stehekin on Thursday after the area went to level 2 yesterday morning. All tourism visitors were required to leave the area beginning at 8 a.m. and evacuees were ferried out of Stehekin in the afternoon. NCWLIFE News spoke with Cameron Hanhart, Cooper J., and Jacob Rocco, 3 Eastlake High School students from Sammamish who'd been camping in Stehekin since Tuesday. The group, who were traveling with Cooper's father, said they learned about level 2 notices from other campers.
We're actually going to the boat to get Wi-Fi because there's free Wi-Fi at the ferry. And as we're going there, we met up with another family and they were all like packing their stuff, getting ready to kind of leave. And we were all like kind of confused. And so they told us that, yeah, they were at a different hotel, resort, I guess. And the lodge, yeah. And they kind of got the note that they got emailed that we had to be evacuated morning of, so this morning, and they told us that and we had no idea.
Early in the morning, a firefighter came up and he was like, "Did you get the news? We got to leave." And then we were walking down to the dock this morning and we met up with like a sheriff and he was talking to us about it and he was like, "Yeah, everyone's leaving." It was just really busy. There are people like rushing, packing, because we got up at like 9 in the morning and we had to get out of there at like 12:30, so we had to pack up all of our 2 campsites. But yeah, it was like a big rush.
We almost didn't come because of it, because the smoke levels were at I think it was above 200, and we almost didn't come. But like the next day it was like 30 something, so it was perfect. And because all the wind was pushing it the other way.
Even though we only stayed there for 2 days, we were supposed to leave Saturday. It was so much fun.
Wildfires around the state have forced several state highway closures, including 2 cross-mountain passes. Highway 12 White Pass has been closed since Thursday morning by the Retreat Fire, burning about 14 miles southwest of Natchez at Rimrock Lake. That fire has burned more than 13,000 acres since first being reported on Tuesday. Meanwhile, Highway 20, North Cascades Highway, had been closed since Sunday because of the Easy Fire, but was reopened this afternoon with traffic controlled by flaggers. That fire has burned about 400 acres since being ignited by lightning on July 17th. The Washington State Department of Transportation said there is no estimate for when White Pass will reopen. Also closed is Highway 14 near Bickleton in Klickitat County. The Bighorn Fire there has burned more than 49,000 acres. And Highway 21 near Keller remains closed by the Swawilla Fire, which has burned more than 30,000 acres and led to Level 3 evacuation notices for Keller.
What does RV stand for? Recreational vehicle or ruined vacation? At Click-It RV, we want you to have a fun, safe camping experience. So for the month of June, get to any Click-It RV store and get a professional propane leak test, tire pressure check, wheel bearings, roof, slide and battery test. And all inspections are free because we want you and yours to have a safe camping season. Thinking of upgrading? Check out their used selection of new and used top brands like Grand Design, Rockwood, Flagstaff, Winnebago, and more. So get to a Click-It RV store near you for a free inspection and keep your family safe.
Our cost of living is out of control, and people are hurting. Gas, food, and housing prices are among the nation's highest. The cost of crime is soaring, and we're the worst for taxes and spending. As governor, I will fund what works, fix what doesn't, and stop spending money we just don't have. Bob Ferguson won't change a thing. I will, and that's the difference.
Dave Reichert.
At Kennedy Group, we understand that buying and selling is more than a transaction, and it's more than just a house. This is where you will gather with friends and family, and where a lifetime of memories will be made. But buying a home is more than memories. Oftentimes, it's your biggest financial decision. The agents at Kennedy Group understand this and provide real estate advice based on your goals and dreams. Call us today, and let's find your happy place.
DeAndre Vasquez joined the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce this week as the new Hispanic Business and Community Relations Coordinator. The position was created in a partnership with SkillSource, a local career nonprofit, to enhance economic opportunities within the Hispanic business community. Vasquez grew up in Leavenworth and studied marketing and political science at Washington State University, according to a press release. He brings a great deal of leadership experience to the role with him and plans on working with minority-owned businesses to help learn about their needs and challenges. Woody's Classic Man, a men's clothing and barber shop, has locations in Chelan, Leavenworth, and now Wenatchee. Owners Adam and Kelly Ryan say things have been going well since the store opened on Wenatchee Avenue in the Mills Brothers building roughly 3 months ago. NCWLIFE News caught up with Kelly to get all the details on the decision to open a Wenatchee location, as well as the special plan they have in store for the basement.
You know, well, guys just don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, I want to go shopping, like most ladies do. And especially if you're on vacation, you always want to go and buy an outfit or something. And so we thought, what else could we offer in a men's shop that would be something that men could come in and, or would inspire them to come in and visit us. And so that's how the barbershop idea came to play. But we decided, you know, not only do we want the barbershop, but we also want to have a snack bar, so whiskey's later, I'll tell you about that in a second. But, you know, beer, cider, cigars, and then we have a great offering of clothing and gifts and all sorts of things. So at first I was very nervous about starting a store in Wenatchee. I know that the clientele is a little different, so you're marketing more towards locals instead of vacationers and tourists. And so I thought, wow, is a Wenatchee location a smart move? And as my husband and I were debating for several months, actually, whether or not it was a good business decision, we thought, well, you know, Mills Brothers was here for like 115 years as a men's specialty shop. And I thought in my mind, okay, so basically if it just becomes a warehouse location for us and nobody comes in and shops, then I guess we're okay. But also with the barbering service and the snack bar, and then we have a vision for what we want to do downstairs in the basement. I'm thinking it's going to be successful. So at first I was nervous about it, but then the downtown community is so welcoming, which I appreciate. We do know a lot of, I actually grew up in Wenatchee, and so I still have family that live here. I'm feeling good about it. We obviously are only in a few months, but our idea for the downstairs basement is to open like a speakeasy whiskey bar, which a lot of people have been interested about. So now we just have to jump through some hoops with the city and permitting and all of that, but that is the vision. So maybe it's a fall project because we have to do a lot of work downstairs, but that's our next plan for this location, so yeah.
Coming up next, Wenatchee builder and developer Flint Hartwig is campaigning to bring his business principles to Chelan County government in the race for District 3 Commissioner. More up next in tonight's feature story. Sunny and warmer today with even warmer temperatures expected this weekend. I'll have all those details coming up in your full local weather forecast. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Culinary Apple is North Central Washington's premier kitchen store with everything you need to elevate your own culinary experience.
For the most unique wine tasting experience in the Chelan Valley, visit One Wines. Popular for being the smallest and most intimate facility in the valley, it features one red, one white, and one rosé. Complex wines, simple elegance.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district.
It's vacation season. While a trip to Hawaii sounds great, we know what you really want is an inflation vacation. That's why Abby's feeds a group of 4 to 6 people for less than $26. Enjoy an inflation vacation at Abby's. You can be a superhero tonight and treat your family to Abby's famous hometown hero. This giant features our classic pepperoni, tasty Italian sausage, and crisp green peppers, all layered together for a legendary feast. Don't miss this July special pizza at a very special price.
How do you think like an entrepreneur?
I have had it in mind starting my own business. This is all really good to know right now. I am currently making a vision board. I am talking about my well-being, my personal finances, and habits that I would like to work on and to improve myself to be a better entrepreneur.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Wenatchee builder and developer Flint Hartwig is campaigning to bring his business principles to Chelan County government in the race for District 3 Commissioner. The 45-year-old Hartwig plans to retire as co-owner and manager of Eider Construction, a Wenatchee Valley building concern that put up an estimated 200 residential units last year. In tonight's feature story, he says the county's community development department has created an unnecessary drag on new home building.
So specifically around housing, we do have structural problems inside community development right now. I think the director is a great person. She's very nice. She's well-intentioned. I just think that we need somebody in there that has development experience, who truly understands the development process, understands the needs of the community, and understands why developers are doing what they're doing and why we are losing so many developers. Part of it's economic, but also there is a difference. I can go apply in 6 different jurisdictions right now and have a completely different experience at each one of them, right? The demographic is continuing to increase. The need for housing is increasing, and I know the interest rates are up and the market's tough right now, but if we don't build our way out of this problem, it's going to get worse.
In the primary, the district votes. So the top 2 people from this primary will go ahead to the general. In the general, the whole county gets to vote. How do you feel about that system? Do you feel like commissioners should be represented in the county at large, or should it be the voters in the district that they're assigned to represent?
No, I like the way it is, because the fact is that a Chelan County commissioner from any of the districts making the decision, that when that decision comes through, it affects the whole county. So I like the fact that the district gets to pick their top two, their favorite one or two, and then because the decision's made by the county commissioner, in the end, even though I would be elected in the third, I would have to represent everybody.
Have you seen the county set some priorities that you think are misguided?
I sit in on every county commissioner meeting that I don't have a pressing appointment off-site for. So, 1 to 2 meetings a week. What I do notice is that it's just a constant procession of department heads coming in with one ask: more money, more money, more money. And while the economy for me is slowing down, and I think for a lot of families is slowing down, I see the demand for money to continue to go up. If the community development department is only issuing a third of the permits they used to, why are they still running 100% of the budget? In any business, if you owned a restaurant, you would be immediately cutting staff. You have to pare back, and instead I see more and more spending all the time. So I would be voting no on a lot of spending, even if it's a gift. So keep that in mind. I'm not a bread and circus guy. If the state offers us a grant for a new, I'll make something up, they're gonna give you a brand new helicopter, and we all go, yay, we got a free helicopter. No, the helicopter needs a pilot, it needs to be stored, it needs to be insured, it needs to be maintained, it needs to be fueled. The cost of owning a helicopter is worse than the purchase price of a helicopter. So be careful about the gifts that you choose to receive.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Friday, and I'll tell you what, really no complaints weather-wise. Look at this beautiful shot outside our weather window from this afternoon. That's up in the Manson area from the Manson Sky-Fi Tower camera up on their water tower, and you can see lots of blue sky, and we all enjoyed that today. Really good air quality for most of us, and just a beautiful summer day today. Temperatures slightly below normal, but still just awfully nice out there. In fact, as we move into the upcoming weekend, we are going to warm up even a little bit more as we get you into Saturday and Sunday. We're talking temperatures mid 80s to low 90s. I think we will be right around that 90-degree mark both days, Saturday and Sunday. We could see a little bit of haze. It depends on wind this weekend, but all in all, it is going to be really nice. And enjoy those cooler temperatures, because after that, as we get into the middle and especially the end of next week, we are looking at another heat wave. Remember, we just came out of that 18-day heat wave, but look at what we're looking at as we get into the first part of next week. Maybe a chance for showers Monday, so we're not going to talk about Monday and Tuesday for heat. That will be those will be some cool days, but then as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, we're talking temperatures in the 90s here for most of us, and by the weekend, look what we're seeing. Yeah, I think a good chance that by this time next week, we could be talking temperatures again right around that century mark. So enjoy this cooler weather while we have it. And we had it once again today. Temperatures 5 degrees below where we should be. 85 unofficially our high temperature today. 90 is where we should be for a normal high temperature. And it was a hot one back in 1998. That's our record, 106 degrees in 98. 55 this morning. So it was a lot cooler than we've seen. 64 is normal, and 53, we were only 2 degrees away from it, believe it or not, for our overnight low record, 1983 the year for that. Sunrise 5:32, and the sun sets tonight at 8:41. It should be a beautiful evening tonight. All right, let's get you into those temperatures now as we make our way into the upcoming weekend. Almost 90s in the Columbia Basin. Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy will be awfully close. Wenatchee, Eniat, Chelan, all of us upper 80s to near 90. Omac's going to get there at 91 tomorrow. 84 for Lake Wenatchee, 86 in Leavenworth, and 87. Beautiful day for you folks tomorrow in Cashmere. All right, tonight as we get into our surface loop, mostly clear skies, light winds tonight. It will be a bit of a west breeze, but it seems the breezes come up at night. Low temperatures right around that 60-degree mark, so pretty seasonal for this time of year. On Saturday, mostly sunny, kicking off our weekend. See the gray areas? Those are just some high clouds, and we could see that Saturday. High temperatures just beautiful tomorrow, into the upper 80s to almost 90 for most of us. Sunday, mostly sunny and warm. Could see a little bit of a breeze in the afternoon Sunday. Again, temperatures seasonal for this time of year, right around that 90-degree mark on Sunday. Moving you into the first part of next week for Monday. This is where things change a little bit. Notice a little area of low pressure just off the coast. That's going to bring some clouds and some showers, especially into western Washington on Monday. We have a 20% chance of rain. It's going to be cooler. High temperatures in the mid-80s for Monday. Drier on Tuesday as most of the activity moves to the east. Still some leftover cloudiness. We'll see high temperatures on Tuesday. Once again below normal into the mid-80s, and that's pretty darn comfortable for the first part of next week. And then by Wednesday, a big area of high pressure anchors itself off our coast once again. We're going to warm up. High temperatures Wednesday near that 90-degree mark, and we're seeing the warm up all up and down the west coast on Wednesday. For Thursday, I think this is technically where our heat wave begins. We'll see sunny skies on Thursday. Look at the clear skies for Washington. High temperatures Thursday into the mid-90s, and as I mentioned, we could be talking century mark temperatures as we get into next weekend. All right, your 7-day forecast now. Tonight we'll drop down to a very comfortable and mild 60 degrees. And look at our temperatures this weekend. Mostly sunny both Saturday and Sunday. 88 Saturday, 89 on Sunday. A couple of cool days Monday and Tuesday. Even some showers possible Monday. Mid-80s for highs. And then the warm-up begins. Wednesday, sunny near 90 degrees. Thursday, sunny as our next heat wave begins. High temperature then of 96 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
I'm Keith Gaynor, running to be your next 12th District State Senator. It has been a privilege to serve you the past 6 years in the House of Representatives. I believe public safety is a critical issue that affects all of Washington. This should be one of our highest priorities. Washington families are struggling. Housing, food, and gas prices are severely affecting our budgets. We need to find better ways to support our families. Together, we can build a better Washington.
And a happy Finally Friday. The Mariners have made a big splash before the trade deadline. We'll get more on that coming up in a moment. First of all, the Seahawks have locked up a safety for the next 3 years. Seattle signed Julian Love to a 3-year extension worth $36 million. Love says he's happy to continue playing for the team that helped make him a Pro Bowler a season ago.
It's exciting, obviously security for me, my family, and just, belief. The program has belief in me. I'm excited to be here long term. This process in the past hasn't been the best for me. And so, from John down, all the guys, they just were so professional. And I really appreciated how they handled it all. And I just, was around. I wanted to be here, build the team up. We have a new staff. And so I just had to do my part. And it was very natural. It's big time. Obviously, it's trust. You feel good when, the guy you're playing for trusts you and believes in you. And from an early point, I know I talked to you guys a while ago, we hit it off. I think we connect in a lot of ways. I'm familiar with how he calls games in his past, and he's just a good guy to talk to and be around. And so I think we just connected, and I'm excited to play for him and to obviously now earn what I have going forward.
Seahawks coach Mike McDonald says he's glad to get a player like Julian Love signed for an extended period, considering what he brings to the team.
I like a lot about his game. Just really excited for him. I think it's a shout out to him and the type of person that he is, type of football player. Definitely the type of guy that we want here, and just excited for him. He's worked his tail off, and hopefully he's found a home here in Seattle for a long time. You know, Julian's a guy that'll shoot you straight and hit you between the eyes on stuff, and you respect that, and has a great perspective on, you know, what he's been through, what he expects, you know, temperature from the locker room, can translate some of the messaging. But you know, I'd say that in addition to being a great football player. So you know, we're excited that it's working out and it'll be here.
Besides improving on defense, Seattle looks to play better along the offensive line. 10-year guard Laken Tomlinson was brought in from the Jets as a free agent to do just that.
When I was a rookie, I didn't know what I didn't know. So I came in when I was young, asked a bunch of questions, and, you know, I find myself answering a lot of questions at this point in my career. No, but you know, it's just different. The preparation, you know, the knowledge of what to expect, the experience, you know, from all of it. You know, it definitely plays a role into coming out of training camp this year for me. Coach talks about the tempo. Obviously, having that as a weapon is offense. You know, when, you know, obviously you want to have good tempo coming in and out of huddle. You know, be crisp, pay attention to details. But it's extremely important, especially for the offense, you know, getting what we need to get done. That kind of rolled over from, you know, OTAs. You know, I was here in OTAs and going through minicamp. It just kind of rolled over. That expectation, you know, that we have for our work. You know, we take a lot of pride in our work. And, you know, when Coach goes out there and talk, man, we listen. So it's been awesome.
Seattle's preparing for its first preseason game now just 15 days away in L.A. against the Chargers. Well, the Mariners have made the first big trade in Major League Baseball before the deadline next week. Seattle traded 2 prospects and a player to be named to acquire Tampa Bay All-Star Randy Arozarena. The Mariners hope his hot bat will help ignite their struggling offense. Meanwhile, the Mariners are in Chicago to take on the White Sox, coming off of being swept by the Rangers, have the worst record in baseball at 27-78. George Kirby getting the start against Chicago's Drew Thorpe. That first pitch already happened. It's underway on Root Sports Northwest. Texas edged Chicago last night 2-1, while Oakland beat the Angels 6-5. Seattle trails Houston by a game in the American League West standings, while Texas is 2.5 games back. The Angels linger 8.5 games back of the Astros. The Wenatchee Applesox managed only 5 hits, but it was enough to beat Kamloops last night 5-4 in West Coast League baseball. Applesox broadcaster Joel Norman tells us how Brady Bean's bases-loaded sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 8th inning was the difference last night.
Well, it wasn't exactly the most pretty way of doing it, but the Applesox found a way to defeat the Kamloops Northpaws with a 5-4 triumph on Thursday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium to earn their 10th series victory of the summer. Wenatchee rallied back from a 4-2 deficit by scoring 3 times over the 7th and 8th innings by only collecting 1 base hit in that time. 4 walks by Northpaws pitching as well as 1 error helped the Applesox to come back late and get the victory. James Castagnola had one of the more productive nights for Wenatchee at the plate, collecting 2 hits, including his 2nd home run of the season, both of which came in the 3-game set against the Northpaws. On the bump, Caleb Costa went a season-high 5 innings. He only surrendered a few runs in that time, keeping the game pretty close, and then Andrew Monson gave up 1 run in the 7th, but he retired the side in order in the 8th and 9th innings to move into a tie for the team lead and the West Coast League lead with his 5th victory of the summer. And now Wenatchee is on the road. They'll take on the Edmonton Riverhawks on Friday night, 6:05 local time, in the first game of a 3-game set against the team who defeated them 2 of 3 times just a few weeks ago here. With your Applesox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Looks like the air quality has improved dramatically since earlier in the week in Edmonton, where the Applesox hope to play first of 3 games over the weekend tonight. Game time at 7:05. You can listen for the broadcast on Sunny FM. Other West Coast League action last night. Bellingham beat Kelowna 6-4. Walla Walla shut out Yakima Valley 4-0. Ben edged Cowlitz 5-4. Corvallis completed a sweep of Ridgefield 12-3. Portland down Springfield 3-1. Port Angeles won a non-league game against the Everett Merchants 7-3. Wenatchee's lead in the North Division second half standings remains a game over Bellingham. Nanaimo is 2 games back at 8-7. 3 teams are 3 games back at 7-8, including Victoria, Port Angeles, and Edmonton. Portland has jumped to first in the West Coast League South Division at 14-3. Ridgefield is a half game back at 13-3. Corvallis and Bend are all 3 games back. That's a look at sports news. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great weekend.